Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. Before we get started on today's episode, just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. Getting close to 2,000 subscribers, less than 100 away. So if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot. So for today's episode, I want to talk about, guess who? Jimmy freaking Butler. So Jimmy Butler was talking to the media today before the Miami Heat play against the Pelicans tonight, and or this must have been recorded yesterday, perhaps. But either way, he was talking to Tobin, Ira Winderman, and some other folks, and he had a really interesting conversation. And they asked him some really good questions, and so we want to unpack his answers to some of those questions today. So they were talking to Jimmy Butler, asking him about his preference. He said last week, according to Shams, that he'd be preferring to be traded from the Miami Heat. They asked him that, and he didn't answer directly. He didn't answer most of the questions directly, but he basically said someone's always going to be talking. He said he liked that, hearing that. Like he likes the noise in general coming from this. He likes the attention. But he also was saying that basically people are always going to be saying things about him, and he's just going to keep his mouth shut and just play basketball, which I think is a reference to Pat Riley, because Pat Riley in the offseason basically was upset that Jimmy Butler was talking shit to the Boston Celtics and to the New York Knicks, basically saying if I was out there, wasn't hurt, we would have busted both their asses. And Pat Riley came back saying, hey, if you're hurt, if you're not playing, basically, if you're not involved in these matchups during the playoffs, just keep your mouth shut or be quiet or whatever the hell he said. But Jimmy was referencing that as well. They asked Jimmy Butler if he preferred to get traded. So I could play that clip for you guys real quick so you guys can see that for yourself.
That's a good question. Who knows? I don't. But right now I'm here, so I'm gonna make the most of it, and I am gonna compete, and I am gonna win. And that's all that I got. It's a lot of talk, and it is a lot of noise, which I'm cool with. It doesn't bother me at all. The traded, the not, I love that. I thrive in that. But it keeps all y'all wondering. It does. It keeps the world wondering. So y'all gotta keep coming back and asking me about something. So I like it. It's good to be talked about. Even better to be wanted, though. Remember that.
So anyway, that was interesting. So basically, Jimmy Butler is saying he doesn't know if he wants to be traded or not, or if he wants to stay on this Miami Heat roster, which is interesting because like this whole conversation, I don't know if Jimmy is just being a troll. I don't know if he's joking around, or I don't know if there is real confusion and animosity right now because we obviously know Jimmy Butler wanted his extension during the offseason and he was eligible to get one July 7th. Miami Heat came out and Pat Riley came out basically saying that we're going to take a wait and see approach and see if he could be healthy and see how he performs next season. Jimmy's already missed 11 out of 30 games so far this season, which is like horrible at this point. Like it's unfortunate, and he's on pace to play like 55, 60 games again, which is what he's been averaging, is missing 22 plus games every single season with this Miami Heat, and that's been the biggest issue. He's 35 years old. He's going to be 36 next year. So if they haven't given him an extension yet, I don't see a world where Miami is going to give him an extension because he's only going to get older. He's only going to miss more games because he continues the pattern and the trend of missing multiple games every single season. And he's already missed, like I said, 10, 11 games out of 30. So he's already missed a third of the season. Why is that going to change? Why would you want to pay someone max money, 55, 56 million when they're 36, 37 years old to be sitting out? So I don't think he's ever going to get that extension. I think he's salty about that. I think he wants his money and he knows that he's not going to get it. He knows that this is a business. He mentioned that Pat Riley's going to do what's best for them and the Heat organization, and he understands that if they have to part ways, that's fine. But he said, right now, I'm happy basically, and I'm okay. And I think he's okay because he's on a team right now, and he has this $46 million, I think, this season. He has his player option for 52, which he's basically said in the past that he's not going to pick it up. But who knows? That can change if he gets hurt, or if his market, if he sees, or if his agent Bernie Lee, who's probably testing the waters, having conversations with the Mavericks, the Suns, the Rockets, or whoever. If there's no other teams that are going to be willing to trade him, then the only option is the Brooklyn Nets, who have $60 million in cap space. Otherwise, he's not going to make as much money with any other team. And so I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I just think it's just an interesting spot where he's basically saying that things are up to Pat Riley to a certain degree. He said, "This is a business after all. There's no hard feelings." Again, he mentioned in that clip, he's like, "I'm just gonna focus on hooping and trying to win while I'm here. I'm happy." Um, in a clip, though, they did ask again, um, "Do you want to be here?" And then so that or not that part. Excuse me. He asked, "Is it in your best interest for both parties to stay together or have an amicable divorce?" And he said, "I don't know. That's up to Pat." And he said he is happy and healthy right now. That's all that matters. So he said that's up to Pat if they want to part ways. So I guess he's saying, you give me an extension, I stay. You trade me before the trade deadline, I'm gone. Or I don't pick up my player option. You keep me for the rest of the season. I become a free agent. We either work out a deal, which could be possible, or not. And then he walks away as a free agent. The Miami Heat get their cap space. So I don't know what direction this is going to go. This Jimmy Butler saga is just super interesting, and he likes messing with the media and keeping people wondering what's happening next. He likes the noise, he likes the publicity. So I think Jimmy's having fun with it. So he could be somewhat trolling, but there also seems like there's going to be truth where there is issues obviously between him and Pat Riley, and it seems like this is Jimmy's last year. This is definitely Jimmy's last year. I don't know if he's going to get traded by the deadline or if he's going to become a free agent and walk, but I'm pretty sure this is Jimmy Butler's last season with the Miami Heat. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think he gets traded before the deadline? Do you think he walks away as a free agent, or do you think the Miami Heat extend him somehow before the end of the season, or do you think the Miami Heat renegotiate with him as a free agent and convince him to stay? So I think there's like four different paths. I think he's gone. I think he's gone during free agency. Or do you think he picks up his player option? That's the fifth option. So yeah, we have five options. Jimmy gets traded by the deadline. Jimmy gets an extension this season, or even the off season. That's two. Jimmy opts into his $52 million option, so he has one more year with the Heat. That's option three. Option four, he opts out and becomes a free agent and leaves, or he opts out, becomes a free agent, and renegotiates a deal with the Miami Heat. So there's five options. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen. I think he is going to walk away, and the Miami Heat are going to get nothing, and we'll just get cap space, just like the Clippers did with Paul George, and we'll be able to kind of build around um, Bam and Tyler and whoever else is still here. So anyway, that's all I have for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good New Year.